Hello, welcome to the chat. Welcome to the stream as well, I suppose. Today was a big day for City to go out and try and do something special. We didn't. We failed in doing so. Anyone can beat us. Seriously, anyone. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about it all now. Big ups for tuning in. DC3K, this is City. Anyone else that tuned in and just didn't say anything, and anyone else that tunes in the future. Anyway, that seriously disgusts me. Players laughing with Liverpool and Pep at full time. So I don't get that. Like maybe it's because not every player that plays for us is a City fan. Obviously there's players like Foden and Haaland, but even then I saw them. I probably saw them having a laugh too. But for me, I give everything. If I was there, I've just given everything to try and win a match of football, and I failed in doing so. I can't get it in my head to go and have a laugh with the team that just beat me. Didn't just beat me, like just schooled me. That I couldn't get near the ball. I couldn't do anything I wanted to do. I can't get behind that. I can't. Do they really care? The league is done. We're in Mission Impossible, aren't we? Again, I can't see where we win a football match. Again, we all know Bernardo, Foden, Walker, Lewis will start next game. Oh, Christopher, nice. Yep, hope you liked it. Now, this is epic. Seriously, where do we win? When is it going to end? Hopefully, the watch line gets a ton of after views. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Oh, what on earth is this? Okay, I just went into. I don't even know what I clicked there. I saw tons of coding stuff. I don't even know what I clicked to end up there. Anyone can beat us. I see some fans saying we played good because it was 2-0. Let's be honest, it should have been 8. I don't understand the starting 11. I said 1 hour before the game, 11 has no chance. Yes, Elijah. Well then, big ups to everyone that's tuning in. Let's just hop straight into this. I'll speak about it all, the pros, the cons. There aren't many pros, but there are a lot of cons. I'll start by saying this. Liverpool were better than us in every aspect of the pitch. In everywhere on the field, Liverpool were better. The only area you can debate is Ortega, the goalkeeper, because the only reason you could debate Ortega is because he actually had to make saves. Did Kelleher have to make any big saves? The only reason you can debate that is because Ortega actually had to work. But Ortega 6.5. It would have been 7, but he did give away a penalty. I know that it was an awful error by Kyle Walker, and I know Diaz did get himself in a bad situation, but I feel like he worked hard to make sure that Walker could get to the ball, just for Walker to go give it away. So I was very happy with Ortega. The situation he gets put into is an awful one, and he does give away a penalty, which is why I have to decrease his rating a little bit. Walker at 3. This guy being our captain is insane. I saw him after the first goal, talking to Bernardo and talking to Diaz, it wasn't a calm chat or anything. It shouldn't be either. It felt like he was I don't know what he was trying to get across. I wasn't there on the field, sadly. But it was all him on that first goal. The first goal, just like we've seen a lot, he just loses his runner. Like, he switches off. Cody Gakpo gets through and taps it in. You know? That's quite literally how it goes. He just loses his man. We concede. We need to try something else that isn't Kyle Walker right back. Okay, if you want to play Rico in midfield, fine, whatever floats your boat. But don't do that just so that Walker can play right back. Centre-backs, Akanji, Diaz, I thought they were all right. I think maybe Akanji should do a bit better on Salah on the first goal. But on a whole, I thought he was fine. You know, he was okay. Diaz, I think he just looked so... I don't feel like this guy... I feel like this guy was probably just really good today. I thought he came back in and was just commanding. I feel like this is the best our back line has looked in weeks since Diaz left the team. Now then, it still didn't look great. We conceded 2 goals. We still made a big error. Sure, Kyle Walker, but like, you know, what if the situation today was Ake left back, Vardy and Diaz centre backs, Akanji right back? Could things have been slightly different? I don't know. We can all talk about if, buts, and maybes, but the bottom line is I feel like the other 3 defenders I thought were decent. Walker, how many goals does he cost us now? He's disgusting. I can't even... Well, I mean, you put it here just a minute ago. Where was it? He's given away an uncountable amount of goals. I can't... Yeah, I did notice that. I thought it was Walker talking at first, but no, Diaz is quite literally like, you know, I saw his hand moving and I was like, oh, it's Diaz talking, you know? Captain has a 3. Wow, trust me, it's been about his average rating this season. But yeah, I remember when we were doing a count up on like goals he's cost us. With Arsenal, he cost us a goal. Watford, he cost us a goal. I'm pretty sure the game after that, he cost us a goal against Newcastle. You know, like, I tried to keep count, but now I just can't. I can't keep count. Maybe we should do a count up near the end of the season on Kyle Walker costing us goals and how many goals have really come from his errors. Anyway, moving on to Ake, left back 7. I think he had some really big defensive moments today, Nathan Ake. I think he was just brilliant, to be honest. I think he's easily... I probably could have done tied the man of the match for him and Diaz today, but I decided to just give it to Ake. I think Ake was really good. That tackle he gets on Salah in the first half when he's running in one-on-one, brilliant. Really brilliant tackle. He has good moments too where he blocks passes into the box and all that. I think this is a great return into the starting 11 for Ake. And it really should, well, not just starting 11, but moving to left back. And left back has always been an area where I think he's played better. It's not just me. It's not like my opinion's like out there, unique, and I told you all situation. I think it's the opinion of most City fans that Ake plays best at left back. And it's unfortunate that him and Vardy have to compete for that. Okay, it's kind of why I wanted to see Vardy play a bit at left centre-back last season, but that didn't end up happening. But nonetheless, Ake brilliant today at left back. Lewis and Gundo at the pivot. I just think that this was a doomed to fail pivot when Liverpool's pivot is quicker than them both. And no, not pivot. Liverpool's midfield is quicker than them both and stronger than them both. Rico needs to work on his physicality. I love Rico Lewis. I think he's got a future. But he needs to work on that physicality. I just feel like every time someone's going to outmuscle him, he's going to get outmuscled. I remember he tried to shoulder barge Cody Gakpo at one point in the game, and Cody Gakpo basically shrugged him to a side. You know, he needs to work on that, Rico. And look, whether you do it this season or you just, you know, honestly, I would tie yourself to Ruben Diaz and just be like, bro, give me your gym routine. Let's do gym together and just hit the gym together, okay? Because Diaz, according to City players anyway, I know Jack Grealish makes jokes about it, but Diaz is in like the gym 90% of the time. Like Ruben Diaz is a gym monster, and if anyone wants to learn something from the gym, he's your guy. Honestly, Rico, you're young, you're 20. You've got a long career ahead. If you can buff yourself up by the time you're 21, 22, you are something else because you're technical. He's got the technicality, and defensively, I don't think he's awful. I just think he lacks the physicality that he needs. Don't blame youngsters they were thrown into this mess. Yes, but to criticize is natural. I can't not criticize players. That's why I'm saying that if Rico improves his physicality, he has a future. His physicality is weak, but if he just knuckles down, hits the gym with Diaz, Diaz at 23 was jacked in our defense. Like, Rico is 20. Rico's obviously somewhat decently physical. He's got to be a footballer. Just go big time in the gym. Big ups Elijah for tuning in. Walker, please just leave next summer, please. Honestly, thank you for tuning in, Elijah, and I hope you have a great night. Gundogan, 5. Look, this guy, he ain't got the pace for it in the midfield. It was never a match made in heaven anyway. This game for him, he was getting outpaced. Any good moment, I remember he had a good moment, but then he just got fouled. So look, he's easy to catch up with. Gundo, he's very technical, and in games where the game can be a bit more open and he gets a bit more space, he can be a bit more of a threat, but he hasn't got the pace. There's nothing that can be done. You can't beat the test of time. Time always wins. You can't beat time. You can fight it, you can endure it, but time will always win. Time will always be the winner at the end of the 90 minutes. You can't change that. Doesn't matter how much time is added on. Pep will change nothing. He doesn't care now because he's won so much. I don't think it comes down to that. I still have faith in Pep. I still have faith in Pep, and I still think he does care about winning. Because I feel like if the board sensed a lack of ambition, then they just get rid. Bernardo 4. It just didn't look like anything he did was working. Tried to slip a ball in, and it was just miles off where it needed to be. I don't know why we persist. I don't know if we persist starting him. I don't know why we persist starting him. It's a player that hasn't been playing well. If a player doesn't play well, he gets dropped. Edison, after one bad performance, it was a bad performance against Feyenoord, and sure, a lot of goals conceded recently, but I feel like Feyenoord was just a bad performance by Edison on a whole, as opposed to just bad defending by his defense in front of him. One really bad performance from Edison got him dropped. Multiple bad performances from Bernardo, and he still starts. When is it that Pep will follow through with what he said at the start of the season? I've said this quite a bit recently, but he said at the start of the season, if Rodri gets injured, Nico Riley can cover him. Rodri got injured, Nico Riley's only played in the Carabao Cup. Like, what? And even, I know Bernardo plays a bit higher. James McAtee, you were adamant to keep him in the summer because you thought he could add something to the club, add something to the team. He's played cup games and he's gotten a few minutes off the bench here and there. When are you going to trust these players that you say you trust or said you trust? Foden 5. I feel like he had one all right moment. He had one all right moment and one all right dribble in the first half. I don't think he did anything else. Everything else he tried, it failed. He just looks a shadow of his former self. I don't know why this is. I don't know why. I just I want Foden to turn it around. I want him to, and I believe he can. I don't think it's impossible, but we needed it today. You had a decent passage of play at moments, but I remember you played a nice ball into Gundo, but that's when he got fouled. You were all right. You weren't awful. It wasn't your worst display, but it wasn't good. It wasn't okay. Núñez 5. Now then, I just think this was a case of Trent just cooking him. I think Trent had him on toast, to be honest, today, Núñez. I think Trent really had him, which is a shame. Maybe if we started Doku, we could have had a bit more joy down the left-hand side, because the second half when Doku came on, I feel like we had a lot more joy down the left. He was really causing Trent problems, but Núñez had a lot of difficulties on that left side today. But I've got to say, Núñez really good backtracking at one point. He got a big block in. It was really good backtracking. One habit, though, I think Núñez has got to get himself a bit controlled on, whether it's something you've got to train yourself on the training ground or whatever, is when you lose the ball, it's good to be eager to win it back, but just don't make big mistakes. You did it against Sporting. You lost the ball and you were eager to win it back. You gave away a penalty. You did it today and you got yourself booked, and then you couldn't really do anything silly for the rest of the game. When that stuff happens, it does you no favors and it does the team no favors. It makes you have to play the game on edge for the rest of the thing. So I love Núñez. I think he's been really good recently, Núñez, and today was not as bad as others. I think today was a struggle, and I'm excited for him to return to the squad. Pepper's on now. Let's see what happens. I've got it on mute, so if you could let me know what gets said, because I obviously can't have it on here. I forgot to make it 2-0 at the bottom. Haaland 6. He got no service. But you can't score if you don't give him the service at the end of the day. He didn't have any chances, didn't have any half chances. Van Dijk was on him like glue. Couldn't do anything with it, I'm afraid. It doesn't come down to Haaland missing chances today. It just comes down to his midfielders behind him not being able to provide. It's a shame. Haaland, in my opinion, 5, because he was laughing at full time and all game. Best striker. Yeah, I was wondering about that then. Yeah, it's okay. Haaland 5, because he was laughing at full time and all game. Yeah, I do think that isn't good for Haaland, but I'm just going to base it off full performance. Although that is something I'd like to change, but I don't think it will. I just think that's kind of how the modern game is now. Most midfield in the world provides nothing into the best striker in the world. Yeah. Anyway, though, moving on to the subs, there are pros. And look, I want to say that none of these played bad, even though De Bruyne's gotten a 5.5. You probably know why De Bruyne's gotten a 5.5. The worst bit is about De Bruyne getting subbed on is that he got subbed on whilst we were 2-0 down. I know that he was about to come on before the penalty, but still, you're leaving it so late. Like, what's wrong with him? He played 20 minutes last time. The penalty got conceded in like the 75th. Couldn't he come on in the 70th? But anyway, Doku, when he came on, he had Trent on toast. He was sending him inside and out. The moment Trent thought he was back to help defend against Doku, Doku was past him again. Doku was the most lively player. It almost reminded me of when he FA Cup, when Doku came on and he was easily the best player for us. Looks like the player that was trying the most, trying to make the most, trying to make something happen. He looked like that guy today, I felt like it was a lot better from Doku. And yeah, I hope Doku can continue to perform at this level where he just sends defenders inside and out. Unlucky to not get anything today, Doku. You know, the result isn't on him. And yeah, you're definitely one of the better players. De Bruyne 5.5. The overall performance by De Bruyne wasn't that bad. It was okay. It was a 6. But he does something really good at one point, and he tackles Virgil van Dijk. Whilst we're 2-0 down with just under 5 minutes left, he tackles Virgil van Dijk. He's in one-on-one on Kelleher, and he doesn't score. He doesn't score. He needed to score that. I know that can be seen as harsh and as a 0.5 reduction, very harsh maybe, but he needs to score that, De Bruyne. If he scores that, it is a lifeline in the game. I'm not blaming the result on De Bruyne, of course I'm not. I'm not blaming anything on him, but he needs to score that in my books. He's an elite midfielder. He needs to do a bit better there. KDB brought on 2-0 down with 10 minutes. Why? I know. Why couldn't you come on whilst there was about 20 minutes left before, not too long before the penalty, but De Bruyne comes on, maybe something just different happens. I would love to know why it's happening, what's wrong with De Bruyne. You know, can we have a segment on that in a press conference? Like, what is De Bruyne's fitness issue? Because he's been training for weeks now. What is the issue? It can't be match fitness. He's been playing minutes. He's been playing more than Sergio Aguero in his last season, and that is saying something. I don't know how De Bruyne isn't playing more. And it's not even the case of giving him more minutes every time. He had less minutes today than he did in the last one. Last game, he had about 25, 30 minutes. Why did he get 20 to 10 today? You know? Why? Savinho 6. I'll be honest, I didn't really notice him. I don't think he had any big moments. I just think he was all right. Not bad, not good. He was okay. Because I don't think he did anything, which means he couldn't have done anything wrong. He couldn't have done anything bad. No, he couldn't have done anything good. Couldn't have done anything bad. So he was fine, Savinho. He didn't cost us anything, I suppose. Pep out of 10 for the starting 11. By the way, I just want to say, actually, real quick, I'll answer in a second. I just want to say, a lot of people look at that second half and be like, oh man, City became better in that second half. I don't think we actually did become better in the second half. I just think Liverpool took their foot off the gas. I think Liverpool were that confident that they didn't need... It's similar to how City would have a game killed at 3-0 back like 2-3 years ago. We'd have the game killed at 3-0, and second half, we would probably just stay at 3-0 because our foot would be off the gas. We might get another one, but we'll see. You know, similar to that, I felt like that energy from Liverpool, it didn't feel like they were anywhere near as intense. They just kept it locked up at the back. And yeah, I feel like that's what the second half was. Any team looks better when the other one isn't trying as hard. So, and to be fair, I do think it was overall a bit better. I do think it did improve. Substitutions got made, and I do think they were the right subs. One of them came on at the wrong time. Doku and Savinho probably came on at about the right time. But yeah, it was a difficult pill to take to watch Liverpool not have to try against us as hard. Pep out of 10. Pep out of 10. Starting 11 wasn't great. He got a couple bits right, you could argue, with Ortega starting, with Diaz coming back, with Ake at left back, with starting Núñez because he definitely deserved it. But then the persistence. Hey, if there's a good reason to not be starting De Bruyne, fine. But I don't know that reason. For every single week, for me, in my mind, it's a tactical reason. But I don't know why. I don't know what the issue is. He was starting at the beginning of the season. I just want to know what the issue is now. What is it? The second half, it did improve, but again, partly because of putting the foot off the gas. The substitutions that were made were the right ones. One of them came off too late. And came on too late. I give him a 5 today. Pep, you know, he you know, he made good changes, but just bits at the wrong time. The persistence to start Walker is frustrating, and not just Walker. At least Walker has gone through periods of being on the bench. Bernardo, the persistence to start Bernardo is annoying. Something's not right between Pep and KDB. It's really sad. I just suppose we would get honestly. I just want to know, whatever the reason is, good or bad, spiteful or not, whatever the reason is, I just want to know at this point. I want to know what is the reason that Kevin De Bruyne somehow does not play more games for us at the moment. What is keeping De Bruyne out of this team? Is it a personal issue? Is it, what is it? Because the communication is absolutely awful. It's like a teenager to their parents. Like teenagers don't communicate very well with their parents, or at least some of them, I'm just failing to see where the communication is. Why can't we get a bit of that? Where is it? Hold on, I actually need to do something real quick. I'm not going to be long. And I'm back. Hello. Sorry, it's being a bit weird. I had to do that. So where was I? Yeah, the persistence to start certain players and the persistence to leave some out, but leaving no reason for it. I thought KDB would start against Feyenoord because he was in the press conference with Pep. He was in the press conference. I was like, KDB's back. No. All right. I'm going to end it here. Thank you for tuning in. This was a difficult one. We're back tomorrow with the FA Cup draw. Next day, preview, and career mode is back on Connect Gaming. Next day, watch along, of course, and we'll see how the week goes. Big ups to you all, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.